Hello and welcome to this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest. My name is Dr. Karen Kan. I'm the founder of the Academy of Light Medicine and the TOLPAKAN Healing Method. This week's topic is shifting collective reality. Before we get into that topic, would love for you to hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel and perhaps the notification bell in case you'd like to be notified every time I do a new video. So, collective reality. Well, not just any collective reality. Some people will call it consensus reality. So think about this. There's a difference between the terms that I use, all of humanity, okay, mass consciousness, and then collective reality. So let's kind of define those first. So all of humanity is the living body of every single human in the infiniverse. Like we make up this larger body, just like the mitochondria are part of a cell, and each cell is part of an organ. The organ's part of the body. Like we are a small part of the like the microcosm of the macrocosm of all of humanity, and it includes the physicality of all of humanity. Now, mass consciousness, we call that the collective unconscious. That's more of a psyche kind of thing, right? So a lot of people talk about, myself included, raising the collective consciousness of the planet. You know, the consciousness of being, of our belief systems and things like that. So as we raise our collective consciousness, we get to more peace, more joy, more being able to see the big picture that anyone who's harming anyone on purpose is only harming themselves. You know, that's the big, 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 big picture, right? So what's collective reality? Well, it's kind of sort of something in between. And weeks ago, when we did the timeline jumping, and you can go back over the last several weeks to kind of stepwise go through what we've gone through so far. After doing the timeline jumping, I was like, oh, it's so comfortable here in my, you know, new body, or my consciousness plopped into the new timeline, new body. Until it wasn't. Yes. And I was like, okay, what's going on? So at first, weeks ago, occasionally, if there was something that was not yet shifted, if you will, in my old timeline, we can call that Karen Kan old timeline, KKOT, Karen Kan old timeline. It might have been helpful to say, well, you know what, I recognize there was something to shift in the old timeline, even though there's nothing to heal in the new timeline, right? Let's go ahead and just rebalance or shift that specific aspect of the old timeline into the new timeline. Okay, so that was working. And then the last week, it was like that wasn't it. So what is this interesting head pressure? What is this interesting shoulder pressure? Huh. Well, every time I tested with divine muscle testing, the answer was collective reality. Okay. So collective reality is not all of humanity, yet it's not mass consciousness either. It is basically the reality that in the old timeline, in this case, collective reality, OT, old timeline, it is collective reality that we in the old timeline have agreed to participate in. Well, isn't that interesting? The collective reality of our new timeline, there's nothing to heal, there's nothing to shift, because we're all enjoying love, joy, peace, prosperity for all in that reality. So I was like, okay, so what are the similarities between the collective reality of the old timeline and the new timeline? Okay, well, there's definitely some similarities, obviously, because kind of look the same, right? With some small shifts and changes. By the way, I was going to say that certain light being star seeds, you know who you are. They literally can look in the mirror multiple times a day and look different. Yes, and I've had that happen to me. Now I'm only, my soul's, now consolidated into a single soul. But before, when I had two souls, right, and one was light being starseed soul, um, I had that talent, gift, whatever you want to call it, to shift what I look like. But I just thought, okay, well, that's a light being starseed thing, and yeah, it's still a thing, I suppose. But I wasn't really paying attention. until somebody said, wow, I can change how I look. And it's not always the way I'd like it to look, right? And we got that, yeah, that light being stars can do that. Like sometimes people will call that morphing or shapeshifting. Now, if you think shapeshifting is a negative thing, let's put it this way. If you could shapeshift 3 inches off your waist, if you're a little pudgy around the belly area, would you like to do that? Most people are like, yes, ma'am. So shapeshifting is really just shifting into a new timeline where you have a different form. That's my current understanding anyway. Maybe next week it'll be a different definition, but that's my current understanding. So there's certain aspects of our consensus reality or a collective reality that are the same in both timelines. For example, we have gravity, right? Um, we have a sun and we have a moon. It'd be interesting if one of the timelines had two moons, huh? Anyway, I got distracted. So there are certain things that are the same, yet things are different. Now, how do we know that's even different? How do we know, like, I'm not just making stuff up? Well, we don't. We actually don't. However, there are some things pointing to the new reality that is different. And sometimes there are things that are highly unlikely, coincidental, you might say, or synchronistic, the spiritual way of saying coincidence that are meaningful. So I'll give you an example. Some are pleasant, some are not. Let's do the pleasant ones first. So over the last weekend, there were the World Figure Skating Championships. Now, granted, I don't have cable TV, so I didn't watch it, but I heard about it from a friend of mine who called me up. He said, "Did you watch it?" I said, "No, I didn't." So tell me what happened. He said, "It was incredible." Well, what actually is incredible is that I was paying attention and he noted that there were three seemingly rare miracles. Okay, let's do the first biggie. Ilya Melinin is, I believe, Russian born, skates for the US men's, won gold medal at the World Championships. He landed 6 quadruple jumps cleanly. Well, at least it looked clean from the vantage point I was watching on YouTube. No man has ever done that. In fact, remember when Roger Bannister forever ago ran the first 4 minute mile and 20 years prior, all the scientists said it cannot be done? The human body can't do that. Well, he did it. And then 18 months later, a whole bunch of people did it, right? Positive morphic field was created. So Ilya actually broke the old morphic field of what was possible in figure skating, and he landed 6 quadruple jumps cleanly in a program that won him the gold medal, well deserved. So that was one miracle. The second miracle, and by the way, it's different, like to get it in competition is quite different from in practice. Okay, I'm just letting you know that. The second miracle, world champion pairs. The woman's 40 years old, the oldest figure skater to ever win a world championship. Like, ah, right? All of us adult skaters are like, woo! All right. Third miracle was the U.S. ice dance team, undefeated for I think 13 months or some crazy thing like that. Undefeated, all the competitions, won everything, became world champions again 2 years in a row. I think that might be first for the U.S. to win the gold medal in ice dance 2 years in a row and be undefeated that whole time. Wow. And they are really amazing. So that's like the positive synchronicities. And you pay attention when that happens because it's one thing to have one thing happen that's rare, but three things? Right? We're in our new reality. At least you and I are, if you're watching this. Second, synchronicity, not so pleasant. Just give you an example, and you might find more in your life that you never thought of. Does it mean it's bad? No, some things we judge as bad are not necessarily bad. We're paying attention to the synchronicities. So one of the synchronicities is robbery. I know that sounds really weird, but I found from two different people connected to my communities, but two different people in the same week know people who were moving, who had all their stuff stolen from the U-Haul. Now, either a very, very smart or not smart criminal is targeting U-Hauls and has a whole team to do it. What are the chances that that happens in a week, the same week? Very interesting, right? So I know that isn't pleasant, and you're like, well, how is that a positive thing, Dr. Karen? It's synchronicity. So the collective reality from our other timeline, for whatever reason, is, for lack of a better word, desiring to shift. There were aspects of it desiring to shift a little bit at a time to the new timeline. So not only are we timeline jumping ourselves and those we love, if they allow it, we are timeline jumping the entire collective reality of humanity. Wow. Okay. Sounds big, doesn't it? So, because several sensitive people have been rather symptomatic the last few weeks, last few days rather, what I have requested from the universe is like, okay, here's the thing. I do a healing on collective reality every day, but I can't say exactly what time I'm going to do it. So here's the thing. Do not give us the signal that there was something to heal or shift until I am ready to do the healing. Just wait until a few minutes before, okay? Because honestly, most of the people that are feeling it, it's not their role or their desire or need to do that work. But I'm okay. I'm open to it. I'm okay with it. Well, because it only takes me a few minutes, but doesn't disturb me that often. So I'm just looking for that now because that's what's coming up, and it might be different next week what's going on. But just so you know, if you happen to be symptomatic after your timeline jump, perhaps you are tuning into because you're part of the collective reality of the whole timeline. Of course, I did put that intention out there that you not be symptomatic from this moment on, right? And that let us take care of it. Um, and like I said, who knows what'll happen next week? But generally speaking, I have found that when I'm resonating the body in the new reality, that my body shifts in that direction. So if I look in the mirror, I'm like, I look good today. Like, I look younger, I feel slimmer, I feel stronger, more flexible, exactly the things that I desired to be, right? My athleticism, and I can tell because I'm an athlete, right? Athletes can tell these things. So, be on the lookout for shifts like that. And it could be money coming in, it could be all sorts of amazing things. I've had some pretty amazing family shifts. I don't have time to talk about all that today, but it's been amazing and continues to be amazing within the level of the belief system that I have in the moment. Okay. And I'm shifting that as well, growing that. So more and more belief there. Yes, we can fly, right? That kind of shifting. So today we're going to do topekan healing activation. And this particular one is to balance or optimize the energetic relationship between you and the collective reality of the old timeline, you and the collective reality of the new timeline, and see how that feels. And remember to look out for synchronicities. So let's go ahead and do this activation. Let's start with rubbing our hands, getting them warm, and lots of energy. Relax and close your eyes if you are desiring to do that. Focus on the inside of the body. And just imagine yourself in a moment to be exactly the way you desire to be: healthy, happy, perhaps slim, strong, flexible, prosperous, having great relationships, on purpose, knowing your mission, making a difference in lives. And just imagine how that feels. And then go ahead and tune into your body and feel that energy pulsing in your body of you being in that new reality. We call this stillness through observing internal movement in the new body, or new body stoam for short. Okay, so continue feeling that energy. Let me do the activation statement, and you can again feel into your body and notice if there's a shift. I now command that your energetic relationship with the collective reality of the old timelines be healed, optimized, shifted, and balanced in the highest and best way with ease, speed, and grace. It's now commanded that your energetic relationship with your new ideal reality timeline, the new collective reality, be healed, optimized, balanced, with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way. For this and all the blessings, give her thanks and gratitude. So be it, and so it is. So just for a moment, just imagine collective reality of the old timeline and the new timeline in front of you, like two spheres, you know? Send love to both. Imagine as you're watching both come together, just imagine they merge and the old timeline melts into the new. The new timeline is the dominant. And just breathe that in. All right. So I'd love some comments. Let me know in the comments below this video how that felt, what your thoughts of. Perhaps over the last week, have you had any challenges? Perhaps you had none. And have you noticed any interesting synchronicities or miracles in your life in the last few weeks since we timeline jumped? Okay, some announcements for this week. Number one is on Light Warrior Radio Monday. We are re-airing an episode with my friend 𝗟𝗜𝗚𝗛𝗏 about her full court of atonement process. It's a very simple and elegant process. Literally, it's like you have a problem with somebody. Okay, your God team and my God team are going to get together and they're going to work it out. I know I'm simplifying, but it's that simple, right? You know, you bring them to this court. And you can do this with your name. Like, for example, if you have maiden name, and then you got divorced, married, and then divorced. And then, okay, so now you have like three different names. Okay, and maybe you have a nickname, right? Did you know that some people, that their nickname and their real name do not jive with each other? Guess what? You can do a full court of atonement for that to balance your names out so it does not interfere with the enjoyment of your life. Anyway, so check out that show, 12 noon Eastern. We are re-airing it. Keep in mind that some of the jingles and everything like that might be a little old, but that's okay. It's an oldie but a goodie. I think you're really going to enjoy it if you have not heard it yet. Okay, next announcement is a reminder that Light Warrior Training Camp Super Early Bird ends March 31st. That's $1,000 savings. And so now is the time to enroll if you have not already. This may be the last time that we're doing it in North America. So go ahead and click the link and find out more about what's there. Just know that we're training your superpowers, but not just all training. Definitely not. It's really connecting with like-minded people, having a loving, laughing, fun time, eating good food, experiencing great nature, weather, the lake vortex, ceremonies, meditations, music, movies. Oh my goodness, I'm getting so excited already. So definitely come because this, like I said, may be the last time in North America. Now it's time to come, and there are limited spots because it is small groups, right? It's not for 100 people or anything like that. We can't house that many. So would love to see you, and yeah, click the link, learn more. And if you have any questions, you can email us support@KarenCan.com. So the other announcements, let me scroll down to my notes here. Oh, yes, that is right. So this part of the announcement is only for Topekan Level 1 students. I decided that I was going to actually, some people don't always read their emails. So I decided that since a lot of people watch the Spirits Medicine Digest, I would just put in a reminder here. So if you are Topekan Level 1, we have opened the doors for a free a free discovery interview for Topekan Level 2 Practitioner Certification Training. We only do this once a year. We only take 6 people. We only have 3 spots left. So what happens is that if you desire to have a thriving healing practice trained personally by me over 6 months' time, then perhaps you may wish to book in an interview. The interview is complimentary for all level 1s. All you need to do to qualify is to make sure that you have done all 12 modules in level 1 and have done the practice on yourself so we know you get results, right? So I will also put that link somewhere near this video. So if you are level 1, you can book in. Please don't book in if you're not level 1 already, because the system will not let you book an appointment with me. Okay, last but not least is that once a month we open the doors for a special group that I participate in, that I'm the head of. It's called the Health Freedom Tribe. And it is for people who, over the last few years, have maybe felt not heard, have maybe been labeled conspiracy realist, theorist, whatever you want to call it, and have not found a place where they can really talk about stuff that they're concerned about. And here's the thing, it's not a complaining zone. That is not what we do. In fact, we see the bigger picture. We see that it is an underworld journey that the whole world is going through, and we are way showers for that on some level. So, chatting with me every week, a very seemingly coveted thing. And it's very casual, but also we have guest speakers coming in as well to lend their perspective of what's going on in the world. And we always put it in a positive, empowering light. So if you felt a little estranged, you from family and friends, or you felt like no one's listening, this might be a good tribe for you. And it's only $33 a month right now. So I'll put that link as well near this, and feel free to join. You can, end it at any time that you no longer desire that interaction. But would love to chat with you every week. All right, that's it for announcements for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, lots of love. Oh, and remember to comment below. How was the activation for you? Did you have any synchronicities or any other comments that you would like to share about your process, your growth, and your evolution? Much love. Bye for now.